Chapter 91. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Damn, why are you sneezing non-stop in the middle of the night? In the middle of the night, Li Hao was awakened by a sudden sneeze. Hee, you keep sneezing, there must be a lot of people talking about you. Maybe the palace master Lianqing is talking about you now. Xingnu said with a smile. She was not wrong this time. Someone was talking about Li Hao, but it was not Lianqing, but Yaoyue. When Yaoyue moved into the main room of Li's mansion, she was immediately stunned by her own portrait hanging in the room. The painting was so good and lifelike. Obviously, the thief put a lot of effort into each portrait, which was so touching, but when Huiyuanu took out the portrait that Li Hao had treasured in the box, Yaoyue's pretty face immediately darkened, and she was so angry that her teeth itched. This is a photo of Yaoyue taking off her clothes when she was healing. The Polaroid camera has a terrifyingly high pixel count, and even the lines, sweat hairs, and capillaries on the white can be clearly photographed. In addition, the rice paper that Li Hao used for imaging is the largest type, and this photo is a one-to-one restoration of Yao Yu's appearance at the time. Little thief, wait for you to come back and see how I will deal with you. Yao Yu held the portrait and did not fall asleep all night, and kept muttering about the little thief until dawn. There are so many people muttering about the young master, I am too lazy to guess. What is Ding Minjun doing, why is she gone? Li Hao asked curiously. This girl will not run away, it will be a waste if she really runs away. Once the effect of the leopard embryo-aging pill takes effect, even if you are the most beautiful woman in the world, it can make you look hateful to everyone. She is practicing the skills given by the young master next door. What skills? Li Hao was surprised. I didn't let her learn anything. It's the ventriloquism that the young master mentioned. Xingnu whispered. So that's how it is. Let her practice well. If she practices well and the master is satisfied, she will be rewarded greatly. Li Hao suddenly realized and slapped Xingnu's tongue hard. This little girl really won my heart. I must take her with me when I go out in the future, mainly to save worry. Master. Shoo, don't talk. Suddenly, Li Hao's expression became serious. The wind was howling outside the window, and the night was as dark as ink, with a feeling of storm coming. However, Li Hao noticed something unusual in it. Yan Shan, guard the door, don't go out no matter what happens, protect Xingnu and the others. Master, I'm going out for a while. Li Hao directly transmitted the sound to Yan Shan, who was communicating deeply with Xiao Qiu next door. In fact, Xingnu is also a congenital master, but now there are so many masters in this town, and Xingnu can be said to be countless. Yes, sir, rest assured, Yan Shan will definitely ensure the safety of Miss Xingnu. Yan Shan was just at a critical moment, but Li Hao directly sent him a voice transmission, and he shivered. In Xiao Qiu's resentful eyes, Yan Shan put on his clothes, picked up his sword and sat at Li Hao's door. Damn, is that a person? Outside the town, Li Hao looked at a figure in the air and couldn't help complaining in his heart. Although he can fly in the air for a short time with his master-level snowwalking without leaving any trace, he can't do it at all like this situation where he doesn't land for more than 10 miles, compared with the other party. This aspect that he is most proud of is much inferior. However, your qinggong is better than mine, and your swordsmanship must be a lot worse than mine. The person in the sky. Li Hao knew who the other party was with his toes, one of the 4 Dharma kings of the Ming cult, the green-winged bat king Wei Xiao, a person with unique qinggong. Haha, this vampire bat came out, there must be something interesting to watch. The melon seeds, peanuts and small stools are all ready. It seems that we can have fun tonight. Li Hao was not wrong. The one flying in the sky was indeed Wei Xiao. Since the disappearance of Yang Dingtian, the leader of the Ming cult, the various Ming cult factions have been fighting for the leader, and neither side has given in. Wei Xiao had no intention of becoming the leader, and adhering to the principle of out of sight, out of mind, he ran out alone to hang out. Look, he was having a lot of fun outside, and when he heard that the 6 major sects were besieging Guangmingding, he immediately ran back to help. Originally, he could have directly entered the Ming cult headquarters, but thinking that it would be embarrassing for him, a Dharma king, to go back without bringing some gifts, so, he turned back halfway up the mountain and prepared to go to the camp where the 6 major sects gathered to make some noise to make the brothers on the mountain happy. As for the leaders of the 6 major sects, they didn't know that a big devil was rushing towards them. Masters, our 6 major sects have now gathered together, and the morale of the disciples of each sect is high. Otherwise, we should directly attack the main temple of Guangmingding and extinguish their holy fire. Once the holy fire is extinguished, the demon sect will naturally fall apart. Nun Miju is the main fighter, sect, open the attack. Umitba, none, even ants try to survive, and ordinary members of the demon sect are not all evil. Otherwise, we should take it slowly. If they are willing to put down their weapons, we might as well leave them a way to live. Shaolin Kongwen said. The monk is injured. Nunnery Miju glanced at Kongwen and asked curiously. At this time, the people from the other 5 sects found that Kongwen's face was pale, without a trace of blood. He looked tired and had a decadent feeling. I'm not feeling well, it's okay. Kongwen's face flushed. Damn it, I can't tell you that I was broken by a little thief and got internal injuries. I think what Nun said is right. We should fight quickly and decisively. There are countless masters of the Ming cult, and a large group of people are coming back now. It is said that in addition to the left envoy Yang Shao, the white-browed eagle king Yin Tianjing and his sky eagle cult, the 5 scattered people have appeared on the bright summit. If the other 3 Dharma kings and the right envoy come back, the outcome will be unpredictable. A dignified and beautiful young woman said. I support the opinion of the lady. A big man next to the young woman spoke immediately. The head of Kunlun He Taichong and his wife Ban Shuxian agree with my approach. I wonder what the Kongtong, Huashan and Wudong think of it. Nun Miju looked at the other 3 groups of people. My Kongtong sect accepts any plan. An old man with a wretched look among the 5 elders of Kongtong came out and said, Kongtong is actually just here to make soy sauce. It doesn't matter if they rob the 7 wounds fist heart method. Anyway, that method is not a good thing. There are countless treasures in the Ming cult's main hall. When the time comes, my fellow apprentices can move all the treasures back and it will be considered compensation. The evildoers of the demon cult killed my brother. Huashan and the demon cult are irreconcilable. I will listen to you all. The person who spoke had a treacherous look on his face. He was the head of the Huashan sect, Xian Yutong. One of the people standing next to him was the head of the 5 Mountains Huashan sword sect, the gentleman sword Yubuchuan. Chapter 92. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Okay, Xian Yutong, the headmaster, please do the right thing. I wonder what the Wudong heroes mean. Nun Miju looked at the Wudong heroes. None, most of the Mingjiao members have returned to defend now. The 5 Elements flag has even set up countless traps on the roads on the mountain. It is not difficult to see from the losses of our various sects today that they are ready for defense. If we just keep on attacking quickly, I am afraid that there will be many unnecessary casualties. The leader of the Wudong 7 heroes, Song Yuanxiao, said. Is Mr. Song concerned about the friendship between Wudong and the Sky Eagle sect? Nun Miju snorted coldly. Nun, be careful with your words. I have no scruples in Wudong. As soon as Nun Miju said this, the faces of the Wudong 5 heroes changed immediately. If it wasn't Nun Miju who said this, the 5 heroes would let them know why the flowers are so red. There is no way. The relationship between Amei and Wudong is too complicated. It is hard to figure it out for a while. In this case, the white-browed eagle king Yin Tianjing will be handed over to the 5 heroes. You won't have any objections to my arrangement, will you? Nun Miju was really cruel. I have no objection, Kongtong elder. I have no objection either, Xian Yutong. For a while, everyone in the tent agreed, even the Shaolin agreed for the first time. Dad, in fact, the white-browed eagle king is easy to deal with. Isn't Zhang Wuji his grandson? Let's find someone to pretend to be Zhang Wuji and approach. Shut up, Wuji has been missing for many years, and his life and death are unknown. Do you still want to use him as a cover? Song Yuanxiao cursed directly. Wudong and Shaolin are famous and upright sects that hold the reins. How can they do such a thing that is a disgrace to the family? I didn't expect that the so-called famous and upright sects are all doing sneak attacks and stealing things from behind. Old Nun Miju, your disciples are as beautiful as flowers and passionate, I like them very much. Since you sent them all the way here, I, Wei Xiao, will accept them with joy. A voice came from the air, scaring the masters of the 6 major sects who were in a meeting. With a scream, a figure flew into the tent. Swish, a white light flashed and the figure split into 2, without even a sound. It's an Amei disciple. The 5 elders of Kong Tong shouted loudly. Wei Xiao, I'm going to kill you. Nun Miju roared. It turned out that the person who flew in was a woman with only a belly band tied on her body. There were 2 big holes on the woman's neck, and the body cut by the Yiqian sword actually only bleed a little bit of blood. Obviously the blood was almost sucked dry. Master, save me. A voice came from the sky, and Nun Miju drew her sword immediately. A black shadow in the air instantly split into 3 pieces. 2 pieces fell down, and 1 piece flew quickly towards the direction of Guangmingding. The 2 black shadows fell to the ground, and it was another Amei disciple wearing only a bellyband, but now the person had been split into 2 pieces. TSK, Miju is so cruel, killing his own disciples is like mowing grass, without any mercy. Li Hao shook his head. The good show is over, it's time to go home. Why are you crying? Remember this account first. The demon cult owes us 1 more point. Nun Miju shouted angrily. It's master. A group of Amei disciples with disheveled clothes responded. But looking at their expressions, they were obviously scared. It's true that when you sleep at home, disaster will come from the sky. Walking from Amei mountain to here, I was so nervous all the way. It was not easy for the 6 major sects to meet up. I thought I could take a bath and sleep peacefully. Even if I died tomorrow, I would be a clean and beautiful female ghost. In the end, seeing the death of the 2 junior sisters, I could only be a shameful ghost. Damn, the old Nun Miju was so cruel. If her apprentice hadn't blocked most of the sword energy, I would have been seriously injured and couldn't run away. Wei Xiao was frightened by the sword energy emitted by Miju Nun's Yiqian sword, which was as real as substance. He didn't dare to stay any longer and went back to the headquarters to report. Oh no, I'm sick again. After rushing for more than 10 miles, Wei Xiao felt a lot of cold air coming out of the blood in his body. Before he could react, he fell from the sky. It's worth going out today. I saw a good show. Li Hao sighed after returning to the inn. Sir, what's the show? Hua Xingnu has always been a fairy-like girl, with similar hobbies to Li Hao. She became excited when she heard that there was something exciting to watch. Nothing, just watched the show of Nun Miju fighting flying bats and beheading 2 Amei disciples with swords. Old Yen, don't mess with the old nun in the future. Li Hao paused and turned to Yen Shun. Sir, the old nun's skills are not that good, it's just that the Yiqian sword is a little sharper. Yen Shun didn't care. He had knocked her back more than 10 meters with a sword before, and also captured Ding Minjun in front of the battle. I'm telling the truth. If that old nun gets mad, I'm afraid I can't stop her. Li Hao said word by word. Yen Shun was his loyal lackey, and he didn't want such a capable subordinate of his to die accidentally because of underestimating the enemy. Yes, sir. Yen Shun saw Li Hao's expression and knew that he was not joking, so he immediately answered yes. Anyway, he would do whatever the sir said, and the sir would not hurt him. Sir, is the Yiqian sword so powerful that your Longquan sword can't compare to it? Xingnu said on the side. In the past, in Tongfu Inn, the Longquan sword killed people everywhere, killing innate masters like slaughtering dogs, making it famous and expected to prove the name of the magic sword. My Longquan sword. Damn, what's going on, Tongzi, don't you come out to explain. Just when Li Hao took out his big sword and was about to brag about it, he was shocked by the 2 big words on the sword. Longqiuan is not Longqiu, it is simplified Chinese. Ancient swordsmiths can write simplified Chinese characters. Are you kidding me? What's the matter, host? Don't make a fuss every day. I also have my own private space. Why do you always summon me? I'm not a wishing well. Do you think this is to summon a dragon? Besides, to summon a dragon, do you have 7 Dragon Balls? The system kept complaining in its heart, what's the matter with this Longquan sword? Isn't it an ancient famous sword? Ancient Chinese characters can be used. Are you kidding me? Li Hao said angrily. At this moment, he felt like he was cheated of several hundred million by a scumbag. What I mean by ancient is the famous sword forged by Zhou Gu's family. Do you understand? This is forged with alloy. It is much better than those ancient bronze swords, iron swords, and 100-tempered steel swords. The system couldn't help but secretly shout, no, I forgot to let them engrave hieroglyphs when I customized it. Damn, you idiot system, luckily I haven't confronted the extinct heavenly sword head-on, otherwise, I wouldn't know how I died. Li Hao cursed this unscrupulous system that even cheated its master. Maybe the system felt that it was Li Kuei this time, and it didn't talk back even when Li Hao scolded it. Chapter 93. You are listening at novelfull.audio. On the hillside of Guangmingding, a ragged young man was climbing up to the top of the mountain quickly. However, this young man had a ruddy face, bulging temples, and a burning breath all over his body like a little sun. It seemed that his internal strength was definitely not low. The 6 major sects have all reached the foot of the mountain. I must hurry. My parents are gone, and I can't let my grandfather get into trouble again. The young man muttered. Young man, what are you doing alone in this desolate mountain? As soon as the young man finished mumbling, a figure flashed in front of him. Senior, are you a master of the Mingjiao? If so, please show yourself. I can't tell, the figure appeared behind the young man again. Senior, I came here to tell you something important. The young man shouted, damn, the location of the Mingjiao headquarters is too remote. Although the feng shui here is good and it is the place where the dragon rises in the physiognomy book, the road is too bad, there are only small roads, and some places don't even have small roads. They are all cliffs. For those who are good at high altitude, this kind of place is no problem, and it can also exercise leg strength. But for people like me who have deep internal strength but are not good at light body skills, it is really unfriendly. You said you have something important to say, just tell me. I am a member of the Mingjiao, just tell me. The man heard what the young man said, his body tilted, and he almost fell down. The man was Bude monk Shuobyud, one of the 5 scattered people of the Mingjiao. Before Li Hao told him that Wudong had a conspiracy, he was still half believing and half doubting, but now there really is a young man who went up the mountain to find someone. My name is Zheng Aniu. I have something important to inform the Dharma king of your sect, Mr. Yin Tianzheng, the white-browed eagle king. The young man was Zhang Wuji, the only son of Zhang Cuishan of Wudong and Yin Susu of the Sky Eagle sect. He had heard that the 6 major sects were besieging Guangmingding. He was worried about the safety of his grandfather, so he risked his life to help. You are really Zheng Aniu. Shuo Bu's face turned black. He actually met the little thief that Li Hao said. If you dare to come, Shuo Bu will dare to kill you. Yes, I am Zheng Aniu. Zhang Wuji didn't know that his background had been exposed long ago, and he was still thinking about using a fake name to deceive people. I caught you, Zheng Aniu. Shuo Bu's tone was calm. He did not stop at all. He directly put a cloth bag from the top of his head and put Zhang Wuji in it. What are you doing? Let me go. Zhang Wuji was shocked. No wonder the Ming cult was called the demon cult. It seems that there is a reason. These people are too dishonest. I came to help, but this guy tied me up without saying a few words. Shut up. Shuo Bu stretched out his finger and tapped Zhang Wuji several times through the cloth bag, and the people in the cloth bag instantly quieted down. No, Master Li seemed to have said that this guy could reverse the meridians. Damn, in order to plot against the Eagle King, Wudong also spent a lot of money, and sent such a young genius to die. Xiao Bud cursed in his heart, and unconsciously tapped several major acupuncture points of Zhang Wuji. Li Hao had previously told Xiao Bud some little secrets about Zhang Wuji in a very low voice, and also taught him a little acupuncture trick for the exclusive meridian reversal method, which was the secret of the sunflower acupuncture technique. In order to deal with Zhang Wuji, Li Hao also spent a lot of money. If you don't sacrifice your child, you can't catch a wolf, and if you don't sacrifice your wife, you can't catch a gangster. Cast a wide net to catch more fish. Hey, why is there blood here? Xiao Buddha had just carried Zhang Wuji on his back and was about to leave when he found a pool of blood on the big rock beside him, and a few pieces of black cloth that were torn by the rock. Ha, Wei Fu Wang, what's wrong with you? Xiao Buddha jumped off the big rock and found Wei Xiao, whose eyebrows were frosted under the rock. He couldn't help but sarcastically said, each class in the Ming cult has small groups. The relationship between the 5 scattered people and the 4 Dharma kings who protect the religion and the left and right envoys is not very good. Cold, blood. Wei Yixiao's body is now suffering from the cold poison, and his internal strength is all frozen. If no one comes to help, he can freeze himself to death. I caught a spies from Wudong here. If you don't mind. Xiao Buddha opened the bag and exposed Zhang Wuji's head. Beggar, man, blood stinks. I want, little girl. Amei disciples, blood fragrance. Who is Wei Yixiao? He is used to eating delicacies from mountains and seas, so how could he look down on this rotten cabbage stalk? Eat it or not, it's time now, you're still picky, I won't serve you anymore. Wei Yixiao almost made him choke. What kind of person is this? He's almost frozen, but he's still picky, and he wants a young girl, and the young girl wants to be from Amei. Help me. Wei Xiao said tremblingly. This is the only one, eat it if you want. Xiao Bud put Zhang Wuji's neck to Wei Xiao's mouth. Dirty, smelly, help me, wipe it. Wei Xiao was still so clean. You dead bat, you are almost dead but still so particular. Xiao Bud was so angry that he laughed at Wei Xiao. He took out a pair of socks that he had worn for more than a month and had changed last night and had not been washed from his bag, and pretended to wipe Zhang Wuji's neck several times. As for Zhang Wuji, he was in a state of cuteness throughout the whole process. I'm here to help fight, not to donate blood. But no matter how Zhang Wuji shouted in his heart, Xiao Bud and Wei Yixiao couldn't hear it. Crack. Wei Yixiao finally put down his dignity, used all his strength, and bit Zhang Wuji's neck. Zhang Wuji wanted to struggle, but the acupuncture points in his body were controlled, and he couldn't muster any strength at all. As the blood flowed away, Zhang Wuji closed his eyes helplessly. It was a pity that he had practiced the 9-yang magic skill alone in the cave for several years, but he died in the hands of his grandfather's colleague before he could show his power on the bright summit. Hey, where did you catch this kid? Why does the blood taste weird, like salted fish? Wei Yixiao licked his tongue and said, although it tasted weird, the effect was not bad. The masculine energy in the blood was very strong, which played a great role in relieving his cold poison. This time, I think I can hold on for a while. I caught it at the beach. Shub stuffed his socks back into his bag and smiled awkwardly. No, we have to go back quickly. Wudong wants to find someone to pretend to be the grandson of the Eagle King to plot against him. Wei Yixiao suddenly remembered something and stood up immediately. Wudong. Shub looked at Zhang Wuji's body on the ground and slapped him into pieces with a slap. Wudong, do you really think that my holy church has no one left? You actually dared to ask the younger generation to come and plot against the Eagle King. I will make sure you never come back. Congratulations to the host, you have completed the main task of the system, and killed Zhang Wuji, the son of destiny. The reward is being calculated. Chapter 94. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Young master, what's wrong with you? Hua Xingnu, who was waiting for the storm to come, looked at Li Hao's handsome face innocently and asked carefully, could it be that the young master went out at night and caught a cold, so he was not in good condition? It's okay, the young master is just a little tired, just take a rest. Li Hao smiled awkwardly, and then put his head on Xingnu's chest and closed his eyes to take a nap. It doesn't matter, I used to do push-ups for at least an hour every time, but this time I was tired after doing push-ups for only 3 minutes. It's not his fault, he was just scared by the system's prompt sound, which led to his poor condition. Cut, this is the virtue, and he still bullies men and women everywhere. What's the use of you grabbing more women? You will still be on the green grassland when the time comes. Ding Minjun, who was standing next to him with a red face watching and learning, complained in his heart. Li Hao didn't know what Ding Minjun was thinking. If he knew, he would immediately let Ding Minjun know why the flowers were so red. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the villain value *1000, the 3 corpses brainworm pill. Antidote *9.99 each. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the follow-up to the 13 deadly swords, the 14 deadly swords, and congratulations to the host for the conversion of true qi in the body, *1%. Li Hao naturally knew that the 3 corpses brainworm pill still needed his own comprehension of the 14 deadly swords, and the conversion of true qi was the most urgent thing for Li Hao now. The gap between the peak of the innate and the master is huge. When the internal force in the warrior's body reaches the limit, the internal force in the body is compressed into true qi, which is a more powerful force. 0.1% conversion can break through to the primary level of the master, and it is very difficult to convert internal force into true qi. Therefore, those who convert less than 10% are called the primary level of the master. Each level of the master is like a natural chasm, and it is extremely difficult to make progress. If you want to advance to the Grand Master, you don't have a natural talent and amazing perseverance, as well as a high-level internal strength method, and you can't even think about breaking through. However, in general, when not fighting desperately, the Grand Master uses internal force, and the true qi is used as a trump card to save his life, just like the sword energy used by Miju Nun to attack the green-winged bat King Wei Xiao. It was stimulated by true qi, and the lethality was as strong as a missile with the Beidou system. Is Zhang Wuji really dead? I didn't kill him. Li Hao asked with his eyes closed. The uninformed star slave thought he was really tired, and found a soft place for him to lie down, and pressed his shoulders with his slender fingers to let his body relax quickly. Zhang Wuji's death has a lot to do with the previous layout of the host, so the system determines that his death is related to you, and will naturally issue relevant rewards. Fuck, it can be like this. I didn't expect the system to still have bugs. In this way, you don't have to run around all over the world, you can buy off the killer or control the martial arts masters to help you complete the task. Wow, I'm really a genius. Li Hao couldn't help but giggle. System, this is also called a bug. I almost reminded you to do this directly. Young master, what's wrong with you? Don't scare me. Xingnu saw Li Hao smiling with his eyes closed, and thought that something was wrong with Li Hao's body. It's okay, young master is happy, wow ha ha ha. Hua Xingnu, as expected, young master is hysterical. He must have gone out to watch the fun at night and caught a cold, or he touched something dirty. By the way, young master said when he helped the palace master heal his wounds that this is called a complication. Li Hao was happy here, with a beautiful woman in his arms, hugging her left and right. The believers of the 6 major sects and the Mingjiao were all unable to sleep all night. Zhang Dia, you failed to set up a defensive trap, causing the Ruijin and Jumo flags to encircle and suppress Ame, Kong Tong, and Kunlun. What crime should you be punished for? Yan Yuan, the leader of the Huda flag at the headquarters of the Mingjiao 5 Elements flag, looked at the small flag Zhang Dia kneeling on the ground and said, I know my crime and am willing to accept the punishment of burning myself in holy fire. Zhang Dia said with a pale face. This time, due to his poor performance, the Ruijin banner and the Giant Wood banner suffered heavy losses, and a large number of masters died tragically under the sword of the heavenly sword of Master Miju. Even the flags of the 2 flags, Zhuangzheng and Wensangsong, were seriously injured. In addition, the fiery flag and the flood flag that blocked the support of Wudong, Shaolin, and Huashan also suffered heavy losses. Flag Master, this is really not Zhang Xiaoqi's fault. We arrived at the Deadwood Cliff in advance to set up a trap. Who knew that Master Miju would leave the large group and arrive in advance? If it weren't for Mr. Li's righteousness, none of us would be able to come back. The fat Chongba sect member said loudly. Yan Yuan, although Zhang Xiaoqi was wrong in this matter, the main responsibility is not him. Master Miju is a powerful martial artist, and the sword of heavenly sword is sharp. Wushuang, only a half-step grandmaster can defeat him. Even if they fought hard, they couldn't stop him. Besides, if our brothers hadn't risked their lives to save us, we would have died. A big man with scars all over his body and a trace of sword energy emanating from his wounds said beside Yan Yuan. Zhuangzheng, I'm sorry for you this time, brother, for letting you get so badly injured. Yan Yuan said with a guilty face, he is the leader of the Huda banner, but although he is very powerful, he is not good at leading troops to fight. He is usually responsible for defense. For example, digging tunnels, building bunkers, creating various mechanisms, traps, etc. Zhuang banner leader, I have a small huandan here. It was given to me by Master Li when he saw me injured. I think you need it more than me now. The 5 elements banner can do without Zhang Dia, but it can't do without you, Zhuangzheng. Zhang Dia handed the small huandan to Zhuangzheng with his only remaining hand. You keep calling him Master Li. Who is this Master Li? Zhuangzheng took the Xiao Huandan and asked. Zhang Dia was right. The 5 elements flag cannot do without Zhuangzheng. He is the second strongest in the 5 elements flag after Yan Yuan, and he is good at attacking. If he dies, even if the 5 elements flag does not disband, it will be annexed by Yang Shao. Therefore, he will not make any excuses at this time. Mr. Li is called Li Hao, nicknamed the Sentimental Swordsman. He is elegant, handsome, generous, decisive, and has high martial arts. If he hadn't rescued us, we would have been exterminated and killed. Zhang Dia said loudly. Mr. Li is unparalleled in the world. It is your blessing to meet such a person in this life. Remember, the people of my holy church will repay kindness and revenge. If Mr. Li needs you in the future, you must repay his life-saving grace today even if you risk your life. Yan Yuan, the leader of the Huda banner, said loudly, System, you misunderstood. Li Hao went there to watch the fun. Also, if Yan Shun hadn't said anything, he would have basically watched Zhou Zhirua and Ding Minjun die. However, Yan Yuan and the others definitely couldn't hear the system's complaints. Chapter 96. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Dad, what happened? Why did you become like this? Yin Yuang asked loudly. The Sky Eagle sect used all its strength, thousands of first-class masters, and more than 108s, but only a few dozen people around Yin Yuang were left, and they were all injured. It was not easy to wait for the top leaders of the Ming sect to come out, but they all looked like ghosts. It would have been better if they didn't come out, and the believers still had hope in their hearts. As soon as they came out, the younger brothers of the Ming sect and the Sky Eagle sect were pessimistic and desperate, and many of them were killed by the disciples of the 6 major sects at the moment of losing consciousness. Don't say more, it's all tears, let's fight to the death. Although Eagle King Yin Tianjing lost his right hand and his strength was greatly reduced, he was still not something that ordinary disciples of the 6 major sects could stop. He killed several ordinary disciples of Kunlun and Wudong with one move. Yin Tianjing, the martial arts world says that you are the best in the world in Eagle Claw Kung Fu. Today, I will use my Dragon Claw Kung Fu to challenge you. When Shaolin Kong Xing saw Yin Tianjing, he immediately burst into a strong desire to fight. Kong Xing, you are shameless. My father is seriously injured now, and you come out to challenge him. Yin Yuang was anxious. Yuang, don't lose the face of our Tianying sect. Yin Tianjing said with a stern head. Dad, it's better to lose face than to lose your life. Yin Yuang immediately said honestly. Yin Tianjing's face turned green when he heard his son's words. Li Hao, talent, a role model for our generation. This person is true to his nature and can be a close friend. No, it can be a friend. Yang Shao, you finally came out. I have been waiting for you for a long time. It's time to settle the grudge between us. When Nun Miju saw Yang Xiao, she immediately became like an old hen seeing an eagle, with a fierce light in her eyes. Everyone, retreat, retreat a little more, and leave some space for the big guys to duel. The eldest of the 5 elders of Kongtong began to maintain order at the scene. Brother, now that everyone has come to the front, it must be very empty in the back. Should we go and look for treasures? A short old man behind the eldest elder asked, pulling the corner of his clothes. Second brother, you take the 4th and 5th brothers, and some disciples to the main hall of the Mingjiao to clear out the remnants of the Mingjiao who have escaped the net. The eldest of the 5 elders of Kongtong cleared his throat and said loudly. Yes, brother, we promise to catch all the treasures of the Mingjiao, the fish that have escaped the net. The short old man led the other 2 old men and a group of Kongtong disciples to retreat. Their actions attracted the contemptuous eyes of the disciples of other sects, but the 5 elders of Kongtong did not care at all. We came to Guangmingding to make a fortune, not to die. Mistress Miju, why are you there? Yang Xiao, who was blind in one eye, had a headache looking at Mistress Miju. This old nun was cruel and ruthless, not a good person. Unfortunately, he had suffered serious internal injuries, and the blindness of one eye seriously damaged his vision. He might be chopped into a human stick by Miju. Yang Xiao fought against Mistress Miju. Yin Yuang challenged Monk Kongxing alone, and the other 6 sects surrounded the remaining followers of Mingjiao and Tianyingjiao, intending to wipe them out. Alas, I thought there was a good show to watch. Why did it turn out like this? I don't know how Yen Shun is doing. Li Hao said while sitting in the recess of the stone wall. Don't worry, young master, Brother Yen is still reliable. Xingnu stuffed a handful of melon seeds into Li Hao's mouth, and then used his little fist to pat his back. Shameless, I peeled the melon seeds one by one with great effort. Ding Minjun looked at Xiaoqiu with resentment, and kept complaining in her heart. Brother Yen, is what you said true? If there is no problem below, we will be punished by the rules of the church. In a secret passage under Guangmingding, Yen Shun, Qiu Er and a group of people were sneaking carefully. Nonsense, how can what the young master said be false? Be careful, there are people ahead. Yen Shun had just finished speaking when he saw a man in black in the stone house at the end of the secret passage. He hid his head and showed his tail, and trespassed into the forbidden area of the Mingjiao. Damn it, brothers, kill him. The one who shouted to kill was Zhu Chongba, who had just been promoted from a small flag, and the fastest one was Zhang Dia, who was guilty of meritorious service. Bang, he went fast and came back even faster. Zhang Dia was kicked back by the man in black as soon as he rushed out, but when the other party turned around, everyone saw clearly that the other party was a monk, but at this time, the monk was a bit miserable, his chest was torn and the snow-white ribs could be seen inside, and his left hand was gone. It was really miserable. It's a bit tricky, brothers, be careful. Zhang Dia got up from the ground and spat out a mouthful of blood. Get out of the way, let me do it. You can believe what I say now, the young master is really a prophet. Yen Shun came out with a knife. Yes, we never doubted the young master. If we enter this forbidden area, no matter what the reason, we will be punished by the rules of the church. Zhang Dia said awkwardly. Brother Zhang, if the young master is our leader. Zhu Chongba whispered to Zhang Dia. The dozen flagmen who followed Zhu Chongba to the underground palace looked at each other, as if this idea was indeed a good one. Anyway, the Holy Church has no leader now. If the young master becomes the leader, we are just following orders, and we are all meritorious people. Who dares to burn us, just like this? Because of Zhu Chongba's words, this group of flagmen are eager to support Li Hao as the leader of the Ming cult. In other words, their approach is called self-rescue. A tiger in a flat land is bullied by a dog. I didn't expect that I have been in the world for so many years, but I fell into the hands of an early master. It's really... Shut up, I don't want to listen to your nonsense. Yen Shun cursed. He used the heavy technique of the sunflower acupuncture point that Li Hao taught him to control the opponent's acupuncture points. Little flag master, there is still a mouse here. Just as Yen Shun dragged the monk out, on the other side, a flag guard also came out with a knife, holding a girl with a black face and chains on her feet. You trespassed into the forbidden area, damn it. Zhu Chongba didn't even bother to ask, and directly slashed at the girl's neck. Stop it. Yen Shun directly slapped the knife in Zhu Chongba's hand. Damn, this is the key point of the young master's mission. If she dies, my old Yan's future will be over. In everything, the young master's instructions should be put first. Chapter 97. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Brother Yen, what are you doing? Zhu Chongba looked at Yen Shun in confusion. Young master always teaches us that God is merciful and ants are greedy for life. It's obvious that this girl fell in here accidentally. How can we kill her without asking any questions? Xiaoqiu, I'll leave her to you. You must take good care of her. Yen Shun turned around and told Xiaoqiu. I know. Xiaoqiu rolled her eyes at Yen Shun. But she also knew that this was Li Hao's order, so she didn't refute it. Zhu Chongba, it's wrong for me to kill her without asking any questions. But, you should ask a few questions. Second brother, it's dark and gloomy in here. There won't be any dirty things. Just when Yen Shun and others were about to leave the stone chamber, another voice came in from outside. Hide, block your noses tightly. Yen Shun told Zhu Chongba and others, then took out a small bottle from his pocket, opened it and threw it in the corner. When Yen Shun was about to hide, he felt that it was not safe enough, so he threw a bottle in the other three corners of the stone room. Instantly, the whole stone room was filled with a mysterious atmosphere. Plop, plop. With the sound of falling to the ground, dozens of people who came in all fell to the ground, their hands and feet were weak and they could not move. They were all controlled by Yen Shun's acupuncture points with heavy techniques. As for how to get them out, that was Zhu Chongba and his friend's business. White-browed Eagle King, you disappoint me so much. How can your Eagle Claw Kung Fu be compared with my Shaolin Dragon Claw hand? Kong Xing said loudly. The two had just fought for less than 30 moves, and Yin Tianjing's left leg was broken by Kong Xing's claw. This was a competition between Dragon Claw Hand and Eagle Claw Kung Fu. As for bullying a seriously injured old man, it didn't matter whether it was shameless or not. I never thought that I, Yin Tianjing, would be ridiculed after having a great reputation for my whole life. Losing my right hand was a big blow, and now my left leg was broken, and I was ridiculed by a monk. When Yin Tianjing was about to kill himself with a claw, he was stopped by his son next to him. Kong Xing, are you going backwards? Even if you want to prove that the Dragon Claw hand is the best in the world, you don't have to find a disabled old man. Come to me, the young master, and I will help you prove it. Li Hao couldn't stand it anymore. Respecting the elderly and loving the young is a virtue engraved in the bones of the descendants of Yan and Huang. Seeing a disabled old man being bullied like this, he had an urge to hit him. Li Hao, why are you here? Kong Xing originally felt that it was a bit unfair to win in this situation, but he had no choice because they were in different camps. However, when he saw Li Hao on the stone wall, he immediately became uneasy. With Li Hao's bitch nature, it is estimated that his bullying of the elderly will be spread all over the world by his big mouth. Mr. Li, why are you here? Although Shuabu was seriously injured, his eyes were still there, so he could recognize the person on the stone wall at a glance, the world's #1 bitch Li Hao. Little thief, I haven't settled the score with you for Minjun yet, and you dare to appear in front of me. When Nun Miju saw Li Hao, she immediately got angry and chopped Yang Xiao half to death with a sword. Then she flew into the air and chopped a sharp sword energy towards Li Hao's position. Who is Nun Miju? She is a person who has lived like a monster. When Miju saw Ding Minjun beside Li Hao, from her scattered eyebrows and the posture of her legs standing, she could tell at a glance that she was no longer a virgin. Ding Minjun was deflowered, which was beyond Nun Miju's expectation. Hime is a big sect with many masters. Although she didn't know Li Hao's identity before, she also made harsh words when she withdrew to support Jing Xian, expecting that Li Hao would not offend Hime too much. As a result, who knew that Li Hao would play so unconventionally. This was simply a slap in the face of Miju. Fuck, you're serious. Li Hao saw the sword energy coming from Nun Miju, and naturally knew how powerful it was. He saw with his own eyes that Miju injured Wei Yixiao flying in the air with one sword. Clang Longquan was unsheathed, and Li Hao swung out a sword energy of the 13 deadly swords to meet the sword energy of Nun Miju. This was the first time Li Hao used sword energy, and he didn't know if he could block the sword energy of Etienne, but it was impossible for him to get out of the way. Not to mention that he had a deep relationship with Xingnu, he couldn't abandon her. Boom! The two sword energies met in the air, and a huge energy wave broke out. Even many small stones on the cliff of Guangmingding were shaken down. Old Nun, we have no hatred in the past and no grudges in the present. You don't have to kill me as soon as we meet. Li Hao saw that the sword energy of Etienne was wiped out by the sword energy of Longquan, and he was suddenly full of pride. He didn't expect that I, Li Hao, have become so powerful. Nun Miju looked at Li Hao with an old look on his face. The arrogant look of Li Hao, the best in the world, made me angry. This guy is so damn mean. However, Li Hao did have the capital to be arrogant. He used Yang Xiao as a prelude and used a sword with 80% of his own strength, but was blocked by Li Hao's casual sword. This guy is so powerful at such a young age. It seems that I was careless. If I had known this earlier, I should have used a gentler way, such as marriage. Anyway, Minjun has been done by him, so what if she is his concubine? Nun Miju is now in a dilemma. She doesn't know how to resolve the misunderstanding between her and Li Hao, because she is really not sure of defeating Li Hao. Master Kongxing, I don't know who this boy is. He is so young, but his strength is so strong, and his swordsmanship is so sharp. He can be called a young demon. Wudong Song Yuanxiao saw that Li Hao had asked Kongxing before, so he naturally knew that Kongxing knew him. He couldn't help but ask about Li Hao's identity, and there was no lack of praise in his words. This boy is Li Hao, the current head of the Gusu Murong family. He calls himself a passionate swordsman, a hermit of the sun, and is known as the Three Wonders in the Jianghu. Shangguan Haitang, the owner of the number 1 manor, Hulong Villa, calls him the number 1 villain in the world. Although Kongxing was unwilling to answer, he still told the information he knew about Li Hao. The number 1 swordsman in the world. I didn't expect this boy to be so terrifying that even Hulong Villa gave him a good name. Song Yuanxiao took a breath. Ban Shuxian, Tai Chong, and Xian Yutong, who stretched their necks to listen carefully, showed surprise on their faces, but they didn't notice that Yu Buchuan next to them looked at Li Hao with a tangled look in his eyes. Don't get me wrong. This world's number 1 villain is not a swordsman's sword, but a villain's villain. This boy is both good and evil, cruel, lustful, and does things based on personal preferences. It is said that old man Tianji personally commented that it is best to be friends with him. If you make him an enemy, you must kill him with the force of thunder, otherwise there will be endless troubles. Kongxing looked at Li Hao, who was confronting Miju, and said softly. Chapter 98. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Your name is Li Hao. Miju suppressed the urge to kill in her heart and asked Li Hao softly. Yes, are you okay? If not, let's continue fighting. Li Hao touched his nose. Could it be that I have become handsome again recently and Miju has taken a fancy to me? Thinking of this, Li Hao shuddered. Forget it, being favored by her will probably shorten his life. I wonder who made the sword in Mr. Li's hand. It is as sharp as the Etienne sword. Miju finally thought of a breakthrough to bring the two closer, that is, the sword. Both of them have swords in their hands. This. I don't know either. Li Hao said seriously. He really didn't know who made it, but according to Tongzi's frugal character, it was probably forged in batches by modern assembly line dies, the kind that costs 9.9 yuan and free shipping. System. Host, you are talking nonsense. I clearly spent 99 yuan to buy it, but I only received a coupon of 88.1 yuan plus a 1 yuan cashback for a 5-star review. It's not important, as long as the sword is useful. I wonder if Master Li and Minjun have already. We have been married for 100 years. Li Hao said with a smile. Who is he? How could he not see the simple meaning of Master Miju? This is a gesture of goodwill. Minjun is my proud disciple, and I have always regarded her as my relative. In fact, I like your little disciple Zhou Zhirua more. Li Hao shamelessly rushed to answer without waiting for Master Miju to finish. Li Hao, don't be too pushy. Zhou Zhirua is the future leader of Amei in Miju's mind, so naturally she can't let Li Hao ruin her. Other disciples of Amei, including Jingxian who was ordained, can let Li Hao choose at will, but Zhou Zhirua can't. The inheritance of the sect is more important than his own life. Don't you agree? Then I can only rob it myself. Li Hao's face suddenly became cold. It's really shameless. You really think that the sword in your hand can't kill people? Nun Miju had practiced Amei swordsmanship for decades, and had already mastered all the moves of Amei swordsmanship. Her sword moves were ever-changing, and the moves were seamlessly connected and impeccable. For a while, she was inseparable from Li Hao's 13 deadly swords. Li Hao's 13 deadly swords was mainly aimed at killing people. His sword moves were strange and tricky, and each sword was aimed at the vital points, which made Nun Miju feel restrained. Although Miju was at the peak of the Grandmaster level, her realm was much higher than Li Hao's initial Grandmaster level. However, Li Hao had more than 100 years of internal strength, full of blood and qi, and a deep foundation. In addition to his internal strength, the power of his true qi was relatively fierce, and he gradually began to suppress Nun Miju. Nun Miju became more and more frightened as she fought. At the beginning of the fight, although Li Hao's sword moves were sharp, he still felt awkward when he used them. However, as time went on, Nun Miju actually felt that she was facing a storm and might capsize at any time. Xingnu, take the sword. Li Hao shouted, and the long sword in his hand stabbed at Miju's wrist, forcing her to let go of the sword, and then he raised the tip of the sword, and the Yiqian sword flew towards Hua Xingnu like a meteor. Huh, I picked it up and bought it, it's free. The Yiqian sword belongs to me, Kong Tong. The third of the 5 elders of Kong Tong saw that Miju's Yiqian sword flew out of his hand and flew towards a little girl. In an instant, he turned over like a kite, stepped on the air and grabbed the handle of the Yiqian sword. You dare to steal my things, you are looking for death. Li Hao did not kill Miju, who had lost his mind, and turned around and shot a cow-hair golden needle at the third elder of Kong Tong in the air. Third brother, be careful, get out of the way. The eldest elder of Kong Tong shouted loudly. Li Hao's cow-hair needle was fired with anger, and he infused the golden needle with 100% of his true energy. So, the third elder of Kong Tong directly barbecued. The ox-hair needle was originally designed to break the protective qi, and the ox-hair needle with the added qi was even sharper, directly piercing the 4 major acupoints of the eyebrow center, Tanzhong, Jiwei, and Shangqiu of Kong Tong Lao San. Among them, the eyebrow center and Shangqiu were the fatal points. Kong Tong Lao San died immediately and fell to the ground. When Kong Tong Lao San died, everyone on the entire Guangmingding was silent. Who is Kong Tong Lao San? He is a late-stage master. Even the peak master Miju was not sure to kill him, but he died in the hands of a junior. Moreover, this junior was only in the early stage of the master, the gap. Anything that falls into my Li Hao's hands belongs to me, Li Hao. If I don't take it out, no one is allowed to grab it. Whoever dares to come will end up like this. Li Hao's face was cold, and he shot a few sword qi at the body of Kong Tong Lao San, and the body was immediately torn into pieces and exploded. Damn, this guy is too cruel. He was already dead, but he was still dismembered. Kong Tong was dismembered just for stealing his things. If I were to steal his junior sister from him, would Li Hao kill me, bone-crushing and flying? Yu Buchuan in the crowd of onlookers thought as he looked at the mighty and domineering Li Hao's back. Unconsciously, Yu Buchuan's back clothes were soaked with sweat. Master Miju, what do you think? Li Hao pointed the tip of the Longquan sword at the center of Miju's eyebrows. Master, master. Under the stone platform for the duel, all the Amei disciples cried out loudly. Several old nuns with high strength and seniority even flew up to try to snatch people, but the result can be imagined, but the stone platform just had a few more corpses. Boy, let master go quickly, otherwise our 6 sects will join forces and you will die without a burial place. Huashan Xian Yutong drew his sword and shouted. At the same time, Kunlun Ban Shuxian and Taichung also had the tendency to besiege. The heads of the 6 major sects are all well-known masters. They can let them give up their dignity as warriors and watch Li Hao in public. It can be imagined how much they fear Li Hao. "You Buchuan, we are old acquaintances, why don't you come out to chat?" Li Hao was too lazy to pay attention to those who only knew how to chat below, and turned around to find Yu Buchuan. "We have nothing to talk about." Yu Buchuan glanced at Li Hao and turned his head away. "Humph, you want to trick me out and kill me, I won't fall for your trick." Yu Buchuan imagined 108 famous scenes of being slaughtered by Li Hao in his mind. Hey. It's boring when you say that. You said that when you return from Guangmingding, you will come to settle the score with me in person. In order to prevent Sister Ning from being sad after you come to find me, I went to Guangmingding in person. Li Hao said carelessly, without any embarrassment at all. "Junior brother Yu, do you know this little thief?" Xian Yutong next to Yu Buchuan asked. If junior brother Yu was familiar with this little thief, he would not wade into this muddy water with other factions. "Well, master brother, I'm not very familiar with this Li Hao." Yu Buchuan said awkwardly. Yu Buchuan really didn't know how to explain the relationship between himself and Li Hao. He couldn't tell Xian Yutong that his wife was taken away by Li Hao. Chapter 99. You are listening at novelfull.audio. "Old Yu, who is this man?" Li Hao pointed at Xian Yutong and said. "I am Xian Yutong, the current head of Huashan sect. I don't know what the relationship is between Master Li and junior brother Yu." Xian Yutong said humbly. The Huashan sect is worse than Kongtong sect. Kongtong sect has 5 masters, the 5 elders. If those old men don't come out of retreat at Huashan, I will be the only one left. Otherwise, why would Xian Yutong recall Yu Buchuan and others from the sword sect of the branch sect when the 6 major sects besieged Guangmingding, a grand event in the martial arts world? In the end, it was just because of lack of manpower. You are Xian Yutong, who killed his senior brother and framed Yang Shao, and then became the head of Huashan sect. You don't look that good, but why do Miaojiang women and Hu Qingyang love you so much? Li Hao's mouth was like a machine gun, clacking non-stop. "Mr. Li, you've gone too far." Xian Yutong's old face was now as black as ink. Don't hit someone in the face, don't expose someone's shortcomings when scolding him, but this little bastard Li Hao likes to hit someone in the face and expose his privacy. "Old Yu, I always think you are a hypocrite, so I don't have a good impression of you. But I still advise you to stay away from this old guy. This old guy doesn't look like a good person at first glance. In fact, he is not a good person in his bones. I have no objection to the 2 of you getting together, but I have to take my eldest daughter Lingshan away, so as not to be harmed by this old man." Li Hao looked at Yu Buchuan and said sincerely, this time he was serious, not a little bug in his head. "Ning Zhongzi is now 3 months pregnant. If it is revealed that Yu Lingshan was abused by the old man, Li Hao is afraid that she will not be able to bear the blow." "I don't want to. I won't go with you." Yu Lingshan is also 17 or 18 years old. She has a basic understanding of the relationship between men and women. Naturally, she knows the relationship between Li Hao and her mother. This matter has been widely spread in the martial arts world. Listen to your father and stay with your mother. When you find a man you like, I promise to marry you off in style. Our Li family has mountains of gold and silver, and we will never be able to spend them all in 10 lifetimes. Yu Buchuan is a poor guy who has no food to eat. Don't let you starve. He used to be the head of the Huashan sword sect, but now he is nothing. Li Hao's words made everyone in the hall confused. You are a young man in your 20s, but you actually call a 17 or 18-year-old girl your daughter, and her father is still next to you. The relationship in this family is really messy. Li Hao, don't go too far. Yu Buchuan's eyes immediately turned red. My wife was taken away by you, I cannot care, after all, I have practiced the sword manual of exorcism, and I can no longer be humane. It is no different for my junior sister to follow me and be a widow, but, my wife gave you the gift, and you still come to snatch my daughter. You really think that I, you Buchuan, am easy to bully, and don't know how to kill people. Don't get excited, everything can be discussed. I do this entirely for Lingshan's good, after all, I am also her elder, otherwise I will kill Xian Yutong, and you will be the head of Huashan's sect. Li Hao waved his hand and proposed directly, after all, Yu Lingshan is also the future sister of his child, and he can't let her suffer. This seems to be possible. Yu Buchuan muttered to himself. He was determined to carry forward the Huashan sword sect. If he took over the Huashan sect, wouldn't his goal be achieved? When my exorcism sword skill is perfected, then Zhuolingchan. Bah, what Zhuolingchan, the pattern must be big, and he must unify the martial arts world. Yu Buchuan, what are you going to do? Feeling the murderous intent on Yu Buchuan's body, Xian Yutong immediately hid behind his disciples. Huashan's sect has always killed its brother to seize the throne. It is not uncommon for Yu Buchuan to kill himself and become the leader. Master Li Hao, today the 6 major sects besieged Guangmingding to fight against the evil spirits of the demon sect. You injured Miju, killed the elder of Kongtong, and now you want to split Huashan. What are you doing different from the evil spirits? I hereby advise Master Li to repent in time and stop before it is too late. Shaolin Kongwen couldn't stand it anymore and stood up to warn Li Hao. Old monk, anyone can say that my master is not good, but you Shaolin monks can't. Look at who is in old Yan's hand. As soon as Kongwen finished speaking, a secret door above the cliff of Guangmingding suddenly opened, and Yan Shun flew down with a monk in black. Master, Yan Shun has fulfilled his mission and is not late. Yan Shun threw the monk in black to the ground and saluted Li Hao. Yan Shun, if you don't know how to speak next time, don't speak. Li Hao's face was dark. Yan Shun's words anyone can say something bad about him made him very dissatisfied. Sir, I was just in a hurry and said something without thinking. Yan Shun scratched the back of his head awkwardly. Come on, you all have a big grudge against the Ming cult, line up and tell us how this is related to those Ming cult people, bullshit. Xian Yutong doesn't need to be mentioned. He killed his senior brother himself. I know that. Next, Shaolin Kongwen, you are the leader, you tell me who this black monk is. Li Hao kicked the black monk lightly, and this kick also unlocked his mute point. The acupoints pressed by the sunflower acupoint pressing technique cannot be unlocked by anyone except a master who is proficient in the sunflower acupoint pressing technique. He is Yuanjin, the disciple of my Shaolin master Kongjian. I don't know why my nephew Yuanjin was so seriously injured in the hands of Master Li. If Master Li can't give a reason, Shaolin may have to besiege Gusu Murong again. Master Kongwen has a high level of Buddhist attainments. Even when he was so angry that he vomited blood by Li Hao, he didn't get angry. But this time when he saw Yuanjin's miserable condition, he was really angry. Zhu Chongba, what's going on? Yan Yuan saw Zhu Chongba leading his own small flag, carrying a group of people wearing the clothes of Kongtong elders and disciples, and jumped down behind Yan Shun, and immediately asked. Banner Master, that is the young Master Li who saved us. His subordinate, Brother Yan, said that someone buried a lot of explosives in the secret passage and wanted to raise our Guangmingding to the ground, so we entered the forbidden area with Brother Yan. Banner Master, you see, we also captured a lot of Kongtong elders and disciples. If I wasn't afraid that they would pollute the feng shui of our main temple, I would have killed them long ago. Zhu Chongba whispered, no matter what the reason is, entering the forbidden area privately is a capital crime. Zhu Chongba brought the people of Kongtong out, and also wanted to make meritorious contributions. So he is the young master you are talking about. It is true that heroes are extraordinary and have extraordinary ideas. Yan Yuan, Zhuangzheng and others showed a hint of appreciation in their eyes. Banner Master, you see, the position of the leader of our holy church has been vacant for many years, and it has fallen to this point. Master Li has extraordinary skills. Zhu Chongba said cautiously. Chongba, be careful with your words. Yan Yuan turned his head and looked at Zhuangzheng, Wen Sangsong, Hong Yang, and Xian Ran, and saw Zhuangzheng nodded. Chapter 100. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Kongwen, you asked Master Li Hao for an explanation, and I, Zhuangzheng, also asked you for an explanation. This monk went to the underground palace secret room under our holy church headquarters and buried a large amount of high explosives, trying to blow up the entire Guangmingding into ruins. Did you instruct him to do this? The remains of dozens of generations of leaders of my holy church are buried in the underground palace. You are planning to dig up people's ancestral graves. If you don't give me an explanation for this matter, my 5 elements flag and you Shaolin will never stop fighting. Zhuangzheng heard Zhu Chongba's report, and a chill ran straight down his spine. If this underground palace was blown up, all the flag guards of the 5 elements flag would have to commit suicide to apologize even if they didn't die in the hands of the 6 major sections. Yuanjin, tell me, did they wrong you? If they did, just blink your eyes. Kongxing hurriedly asked Yuanjin, because he found that the people from the other 5 major sects had already left them far away. Damn, blowing up Guangmingding, isn't that blowing up everything? Yuanjin's move has put Shaolin on the cusp of the storm. We can testify that the Mingjiao people did not lie. This monk was indeed captured in the secret room of the underground palace, and he also piled up a lot of high explosives. Once those explosives explode, it is estimated that no one in the entire Guangmingding will survive. Yuanjin stiffened his neck and said nothing. Instead, the captured Kongtong elder spoke weakly. Damn, these evildoers of the demon sect are so worthless that they actually put so many poisons in such a small secret room. I am a master, with a strong aura all over my body, and I am not affected by ordinary poisons, but I was still knocked down by the little devil sect brats. Now I am still weak and weak all over. It's really careless. Second brother, what's wrong with you? The eldest brother of Kongtong was shocked when he saw the appearance of the second brother. Now it's good, the third brother is dead, the second, fourth, and fifth brothers were captured, and the Kongtong sect is dead in name only. Brother, let's surrender. They said they would let us go if you surrender. If you can sneak attack and kill a few more Wudong or Kunlun masters, they can also give us gold per head. The demon cult has a lot of gold, and the secret room below is full of it. Boss, as long as they give us a little, we brothers can have dozens of concubines each. The fourth and fifth brothers of Kongtong shouted in a hurry. When the Wudong and Kunlun disciples heard this, they immediately distanced themselves from Kongtong, and most of the disciples aimed their weapons at the Kongtong disciples. Don't talk nonsense. The Kongtong boss heard that there was gold, and he had some ideas in his mind. But when he looked at the 2 disciples who were distanced from him, he immediately stopped. There was no way. When they were not prepared, he could still consider it. Now that they were prepared, there was no point in sneak attacking. This money, you have to live to get it and live to spend it. Just like the third brother, who wanted to steal the sword of heavenly sword, but ended up dead. My poor third brother, woo woo woo. This kid is good, he has a good brain. Green-winged bat King Wei Yixiao said as he looked at Yin Tianzheng who was being dragged. He is indeed smart. What he did and said seemed disorganized, but in fact, he had inadvertently exposed the intrigues of the 6 major sections. Look at the gaps between the 6 major sects, it is enough for us to walk out in a swagger. The young are formidable. Yin Tianzheng praised. The 2 saw the hope of life in each other's eyes. Master Kongxing, if you have anything, just ask directly. I didn't expect you to be such a Shaolin. The 6 major sects dispatched thousands of masters, but you Shaolin wanted to blow them all up with a pile of explosives. No wonder the old monks Dui and the others didn't come out, and even Kong Ji didn't come. This is a great idea. TSK. Li Hao said, shaking his head. Sir, if Shaolin blows up all these people, will they become the biggest sect in the martial arts world? Yen Shun asked appropriately. Everyone here is dead. Apart from Wudong, who else can compete with Shaolin in the martial arts world? Even in Wudong, there is only one Zhang Sanfeng left, and the rest are just small shrimps. The fisherman benefits from the fight between the crane and the clam. Shaolin is really playing a big game. I, Li Hao, am ashamed of myself. System, you are still ashamed of yourself. You are talking about the dead alive. Ling Shan, come to your father. There are too many bad guys down there. It's not safe. Who knows who is the enemy? Li Hao waved at Yu Ling Shan. If he was watching Yu Ling Shan being robbed at Guangmingding, Ning Zhongzi would probably hate him to death. Go. He dare not harm you. Just when Yu Ling Shan wanted to refuse, Yu Buchuan pushed her from behind. According to his investigation, although Li Hao's character is not very good, he is still very good to his own people, such as Long Xiaoyun. Yu Ling Shan glanced at Yu Buchuan, but still walked up to the stone platform and stood beside Li Hao. Go up and stand with your aunt. Stand up and wait for the show. Li Hao grabbed her belt and threw her up. The waist of an 18-year-old girl is really a knife that can kill people, soft and tender. Shua Yu Ling Shan just flew up, and a sharp weapon shot at Yu Ling Shan in the air from the stage. You dare to show off your skills in front of me? Li Hao sneered, and a silver light from his left hand directly knocked down the black light. Ding! As Yu Ling Shan flew onto the stone platform, the black light also fell to the ground and revealed its true face. Master Xianyu, what do you mean by this? Yu Buchuan glared at Xian Yutong as soon as he saw the things on the ground. Yu Buchuan's disciples Lu Hou, Lao Denua and others also drew their swords and confronted the disciples of Huashan sect. Evil demons and heretics, everyone can kill them. My niece is obsessed with evil demons, I just want her to wake up. Xian Yutong's old face was dark. He didn't expect that his unique hidden weapon, the throat-locking nail, was easily blocked by Li Hao. Also, where did this guy get so many silver needles? He lost one when he killed the Kongtong elder, and now he lost another one. He is really rich. I didn't expect that a martial arts flourishing would end up as a farce. Master Li, good tricks. Wudong Song Yuanqiao glanced at the disciples of the 6 major sects who were on guard against each other, and knew that the Mingjiao could not be defeated this time, because Wudong disciples just reported that a large number of masters of the Mingjiao returned to help. If they didn't hurry up, they would probably be surrounded. However, he was unwilling to let him retreat like this. Why, Mr. Song wants to test whether this master's sword is sharp. In my opinion, all of you here are rubbish. I will fight 10 of you alone. Li Hao stretched out his legs and kicked Miju, whose right hand was disabled and whose acupoints were blocked. Tian Shun, Li Hao stood in the middle of the stone platform, pulled out Longquan and held it in his hand, with the momentum of a man standing alone. Sir, my teeth are not good, I really can't eat this old Nun Miju. Yen Shun looked at Nun Miju at his feet, his face full of grievance. Even if Zhou Jirua and Ding Minjun are yours, you should at least give me Bei Jini, and at least Jingxian, which I wouldn't mind.